Hi, welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Special Economic Zones. I'm your host, Ainsley Brown. And in today's episode, we're going to cover, and this is something different for me, cover zones and the coconut industry. Now, why I say this is different, I've never done a specific commodity, and I think I'm going to start doing a few commodities here and there, spread out throughout the year. I was filming here in my backyard and I was just inspired. I saw the coconut tree back there, right there. And it just struck me that, yes, I should talk about a commodity, and specifically in this instance, coconuts. As you can tell, I'm in a tropical area. I'm in Jamaica right now, and I'm in my backyard. And here's some coconut. There's a coconut tree right behind me. And what's the link between coconuts and zones? Now, coconuts, in terms of coconut oil in particular, or even coconuts themselves, as you can drink them, is an industry. And anytime there's an industry, there is some zone link, some way, shape, or form, right? So whether you're processing it to extract oil, or you're processing it to extract the coconut water, which has become a big health, what you'd say, health craze these days. Zones can and do play a role in terms of processing and so forth. And you can look around in terms of areas that lead in coconut exports around the world, or countries that lead in coconut exports, and you'll see that those countries also have zones where some of this processing takes place. So as I do with every episode, I explain what a zone is, or what zones are. Zones are a designated area by a government that says we want to attract investments. So we've set up some special rules pertaining to how businesses can operate, and we have put in some particular incentives to attract what we want there. So we want to attract a processor. Now, this is very important, particularly for developing countries who want to build out their industries. They grow a lot of these commodities, or extract out of the earth, depending on what it is, and they need to be adding more value. Now, just to give you a story of contrasting two countries and showing you how the importance of value addition and growing an industry, a case study, Vietnam and the Ivory Coast, right? Vietnam is the number one cashew exporter. The Ivory Coast slash Cote d'Ivoire is the number one cashew producer. So note the difference. One is the producer, but one is the number one exporter. Some of the cashews from Vietnam come from the Ivory Coast. So the difference between the two is that Vietnam has gone into a level of industrialization, a level of value added, whereas Cote d'Ivoire has not. Right, it has not attracted, and there may be a variety of different reasons why that has not happened, right? But one of the things that Cote d'Ivoire can do to overcome some of the challenges it faces is to set up a attractive special economic zone regime, put in the necessary infrastructure to connect the farms to the zone to the port, right? Just as an example, and build up an industry so that more value added and more income can be earned, and more employment, jobs, and development can happen in its country. And the remarkable thing is that Cote d'Ivoire versus Vietnam has done this relatively recently versus Cote d'Ivoire, which has been growing cashews for a very long time. So it's definitely something that is possible, right? And of course, Vietnam did not do it by itself. It invited foreign direct investment to come and set up, and they've been very successful, clearly. So likewise with the coconut industry, a similar thing can happen in the Caribbean, right? As an example, or Pacific Islands, where a lot of coconuts do grow, right? Now, one of the things that we'd have to think about as well is that it may not be able to happen on every single island, right? But if it happens on one, it is also of benefit to you, because then you can send it to a closer location for processing and become more attractive, right? So there's a lot that can be done with zones, particularly with this commodity, coconuts. Um, and look out for more coming in the future, where I cover some other commodities. I'm going to do a little bit more research specific to certain coffees, like commodities. I just gave away one. Coffee, for example, very yummy. Bananas. I'm going to have a little bias towards things that I see in the Caribbean, because I can show you them in the backyard. So, for example, there's bananas over that side right there. So I'll show you those things, and I have some. I think I have some pictures in terms of coffee and coffee plantations. So look out for that. If you want to see me do a specific commodity, just leave me a comment down below, and I'll get right back to you. Bye for now.